What is up guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Dr. Hammerstein and today we have here the OnePlus Buds Z. I've been using this for about a few days to a week already and I gotta say I am overall very impressed with the OnePlus Buds Z. And before I go any further, I am using actually the FreeBuds Pro and the Galaxy Buds. Like these two are my favorite. This one of course with most of my Samsung phones, the connection is just really good. The sound, ANC, that's pretty alright. But my ultimate favorite is the FreeBuds Pro. This is like my favorite overall. The ANC on this, the sound quality, the connection. This is just one of the best for me in 2020. And if you guys want to check out a little bit more about these two earphones, I will leave a link in the description up above here and also in the description down below so you guys can check it out. So today what we're going to talk about is the OnePlus Buds Z, and I've also used the OnePlus Buds. I've also used Apple AirPods, the Sony WF-1000XM3s, but today we're going to focus more on this, some things that I do like and some things that I don't really quite fancy with the Buds Z. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first thing that I really do like about this is the price on this. This goes about 50 USD here in Malaysia. It converts to about 230 ringgit. Of course, towards end of the year with so many sales coming on, you can get this for about 200 ringgit. So for a little bit less than 50 USD, this is a very sweet deal for a pair of true wireless earphones. The second thing that I really do like is the fact the battery on life on this is just pretty amazing. Overall, this will give you about 20 hours. The earphones will give you about 5 hours of playback, and the charging. Listen to this. 10 minutes of charge will give you 3 hours of music playback. And I've been using this for a few days already and the battery on this is pretty amazing. I haven't been really charging this because it just is really good and it doesn't really drain that much. And like I mentioned again, 10 minutes of charge will give you about 3 hours. So if you're gonna bring this for a long journey, for a long trip, or whatever, this one is very handy. The size is pretty small if you compare this. Of course, this is longer, but the overall thickness and all that is about the same as most earphones. It's pretty handy and it's very pocketable in most places. So yes, you can hide this in your bag, you can put this in your pocket, and it's easy. And the battery life again on this is pretty amazing. And at this price point, what you're also gonna get is water and sweat resistance and IP5 rating. So you can bring this to a gym, or just say if it was raining a little bit and you're worried that it might be damaged, you don't have to worry too much. But of course, I will not bring it to somewhere near a swimming pool. You drop it in there, I'm not gonna be responsible for that. Do not find me on my channel and complain. But I gotta say, if you bring this to a gym, it's pretty good. And one thing I did test on this is the overall connection on this. It does take some time with you know, without the OnePlus phones, it does take some time to connect for about 3 to 4 seconds, which is a little bit slow for me. Like these two over here, they connect really fast. Even without the Huawei phone or like the Samsung phone, these two connects very fast. Of course, with the normal OnePlus phones, it connects slightly faster. I've tested out with the OnePlus 8 Pro, but overall, I wish that they could have done a little bit better with the connection to other phones as well. I know even with the OnePlus Buds, they had that similar issue when it comes to connection. Second thing about the connection is the fact that this one can only give you about 50 feet of good stable connection without any barriers all around. So if you're gonna bring this to a gym and you want to put this in your bag and like put your phone in the bag and just do your workout, it may not be so good if there are too many equipments around. So it's not very convenient that way. So you gotta bring this, the phone and also the earphones near with you when you're doing whatever you need to do, because it gives you about 50 feet of like stable connection. Next thing we're going to talk about is the latency on the OnePlus Buds Z, and I gotta say I am very impressed, but I would not use it too much when it comes to gaming. Watching shows, the synchronization, the syncing of it is really good. You can get very minimal lag. But I did notice a little bit lag, of course, when you know, look at the lips and the overall sound. So if you're gonna go for some hardcore gaming, I would not actually buy this for intense hardcore gaming. But if you're a casual gamer like me, you just play certain, you know, not those like PUBG, just play simple games, I think this is a really good earphones for that, because like I said, the latency on this is very minimal. And yes, the OnePlus Buds Z does connect with iOS and all other Android devices. You don't have to worry about the connection and compatibility issues. So one other thing that I do like about the OnePlus Buds Z compared to the OnePlus Buds is the fact that over here you have a silicone tip. So in putting it into your ear, it's definitely much more comfortable to snug it into your ear. It feels more secure. If you're going for some running, some gym workout, this one will definitely fit into your ear much better compared to the OnePlus Buds, because you know they just have that silicone tip and all ears matter. So you can change out the silicone tip to suit your ear so that you will get the best experience from it. So yes, and also it does offer some sort of like passive noise cancellation, because when you put this into your ear, it will kind of block out all loud of sound. So, but it doesn't have any form of ANC, which of course is pretty disappointing, but at about 50 bucks, I wouldn't want to complain too much. Second of all, I've got to say that the earbuds is about 4.35 grams, so it is very light. Even with the case, like I said, it's very light. So if you're going for some workout, you will not feel too much of the weight. And again, with the silicone tips, it will fit in very nicely to your ears. So OnePlus has been advertising this as the bass boost, and I gotta say, they are keeping their word to it, because the bass on this is really good. If you guys have tested out the OnePlus Buds, they already said that the bass was really good, but one thing I didn't really like about it is the fact that it wasn't in-ear, so you gotta like push it a little bit more in to get the full bass. But with this here, with the silicone tips, the bass on this is really good. I like to listen to a lot of like songs from The Score, from Imagine Dragons, so a lot of mids, a lot of bass, so it's really good. But if you are a person that likes a bit more clarity, a bit clearer sound, I would like from the Apple AirPods, I would go for those instead, because this one, I wouldn't say it's very noisy or whatever, but when it comes to the clarity, if you've been using something like the Apple AirPods, you will feel a little bit of difference. But if this is your first pair of earphones, I gotta say, the sound on this, the highs, the mids, and especially the bass on this is just really good. So in terms of the sound over quality, I'm going to give this a nice 8.5 maybe out of 10. It is up there with the other more premium earphones in terms of sound, in terms of bass. So I gotta give it to OnePlus in doing a very good job with the sound and bass on the OnePlus Buds Z. So few of the things that I don't really quite fancy with this is the fact that the plastic made out of this, the earphones made out of this plastic, feels very cheap. Look at it, it's a bit more like shiny, and the case as well. And if you look at this case, it's pretty shiny, you know, it doesn't really feel very premium, of course, compared to, you know, the FreeBuds Pro, compared to the Galaxy Buds Live. Even with the OnePlus Buds, they had that matte finish on the outside, which kind of gave it a little bit more premium feel. This one here, they give sort of like a cheap plastic, to be honest. It's like if you go outside there to any online store, you buy any China-made earphones, you're gonna get the same kind of plastic feel to it. Yes, maybe they want to save money on the overall packaging, the lightness of this, but I did wish that they could have given us like a matte finish to it, or maybe like a red accent color to make it more of a OnePlus thing. But overall, in terms of the build and of course of the quality of this, I wouldn't say the material is very nice, and sometimes it may be a bit of a problem for some of you guys. And one thing, of course, is the design of this. You can see it's so generic. It's like anywhere you're gonna find out there. Like I said, if you go online, you go find some China earphones, it will look all the same. So I did wish that they could have given us like a more OnePlus design, something that is not too common. And you guys have seen some reports online where they wanted to ship this out to certain countries, and they were like they caught it and thought they were like some other brands, which of course I will not mention. But overall, I mean, at this price point of 50 bucks, can I complain too much? Probably yes, because I do know that at this price point I can get like better looking earphones in that sense. I've used even the Sabuds E12, but I gotta say, overall, if this isn't a big deal for you, it's not a real big deal breaker. That's the word I'm gonna say. It's not a real deal breaker overall, but I gotta say the looks of it is pretty generic. So I'm going to show you how this fits into my ear, and I'm going to just do a shake test so you guys can believe me when I say that the fit on this is pretty amazing. So as you can see here, this is the OnePlus Buds Z in my ear, and it does stick out quite a bit. And yes, people, when they see you wearing this, they probably think, hey, Apple AirPods, but know, and you gotta explain to them what are these. So yes, it does stick out, it does have that stamp here, which could be a bothersome for you guys, could be a deal breaker, but for me it's all pretty alright, it's pretty light anyway. When it comes to the mic quality on this, it's pretty decent, I would say. So if you're worrying about the mic quality with the earphones over here, I think it's actually pretty decent. Of course, it's not the clearest compared to the Galaxy Buds Live or even to the Buds Pro or the Apple AirPods Pro, but for a decent call quality, the mic on this is pretty good. What I do have a problem with this is the touchpad control. So over here, if you have a OnePlus device, you can change the settings over here when you go to your Bluetooth, but if you're not using a OnePlus phone, it's a bit very limited, or would I say very limited. So you can just double tap to go to the next track, triple tap to go to the previous track, and that's all you can do. One thing I gotta say is that if you're taking both of the earphones from the case, either one of the earphones, the left or right, it will play straight away. But if you're using both of them and you just take it out, you just want to put into your ear, you want to put back into the case, yes, the music will stop and you gotta go back to your phone and press play to resume your music playback. So for me, that is a bit of annoying because like for the Buds Pro and for the Galaxy Buds Live, the music will continue to play even if I take out one of the earbuds, put it back in my case, and maybe if I just put it back in, it will just continue to play, which is really convenient, but they do not really have it with the OnePlus Buds Z. It also doesn't work with OnePlus devices, so I do hope in the future they give us a bit more flexibility when it comes to that connection. But overall, yeah, it's pretty good. Alright guys, so now we're gonna do a fit test on this. So these are the earphones. I'm gonna put this into my ears. And because it does have that silicone tip, it's a bit of a passive noise cancellation. So yes, it does block out some sound to a certain extent. And as I shake my head back and forth, as you can see, it doesn't fall off. It fits in very nicely over here on both sides. So in terms of the fit on this, it's really good, and you will not worry about it. Even if you're doing jump jacks, you're doing some running or whatever, the earphones on this will not fall off. And yes, it's a good one, and it does pass my head banging test. So yes, this is my review of the OnePlus Buds Z. Would I recommend it? Definitely yes. I would recommend these earphones because at 50 bucks, you're getting so much into your earphones at this price point. This is what OnePlus does, and I wish they continue this with their other products. At 50 bucks, you're gonna get very good sound, you're gonna get a very good pair of earphones, you get an IP5 rating, you get so much in this earbuds. I gotta say, sound on this is really good, the fit is good. So at 50 bucks, like I said, this is a very sweet deal and highly recommended on this channel. So of course, like with this channel, if you guys are planning to get this or if you're already a user, do leave a comment down below so I can get back to you and tell me what's your experience with it so far, or if you're planning to get it, you have any other questions, do leave a comment down below and I will get back to you. So if you did enjoy this video, do click that like and smash that subscribe button down below for more videos like this in the future. Do also follow me on my socials as well, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and also here on YouTube at Dr. Hammerstack. So that is it. This is Dr. Hammerstack. Stay safe, take care, and wash those hands.